Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's East meets West with Steve Zalunardo
What's going on, guys?
and Hussein Kabani.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
What do we got for topics today, Hussein?
Okay, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for handing it over to me. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about how our weeks have been.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about maybe how the public interacts with agents and maybe how that might be causing them to react in a way the public may not necessarily like.
Sure.
What else we got?
What was it? New construction. I was
New
talking to you about
construction
it yesterday.
pricing. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
regarding was it a good idea and just the effect of it coming into this market.
Yeah.
Thank God we're doing videos now, because even in 2017, where I was talking about even early 2018 regarding problem of this year or next year is going to be who's going to close, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it'd be a great topic to get a
Yeah,
get a
I
hold
think
of.
so. I think we got some good info for you guys.
Cool,
here
buddy.
today.
So how was your week?
Week has been good. Actually, it's been kind of a slow start. As you know, I've been at a real estate seminar, which is cool. But yeah, everything has been kind of consistent. Usually I find that when I'm not here in my office, I'm not really getting new business or anything else like that.
Crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Sometimes if you just sit here, it actually things start happening.
Yeah, well,
If your mindset's here,
that's
and your business
right.
is
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
mind,
and it attracts
things
it to
start
you,
popping.
right? To a certain
Incredible.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it attracts it to you. But yeah, so I mean, it's been good. Everything that we've kind of put on the market has sold. There was that one property in Vaughan that I was telling you.
Yes. I saw you came down. I saw the price come down
a bit.
Yeah.
But that was to come down and try to generate interest in the property, which did happen.
Yeah.
So we're currently working with the offer right now.
Oh, good.
And
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
1499, I think.
Yeah,
I saw it come up.
1495. Yeah. So we're working with an offer right now. There's someone else that came through an open house.
No.
So it came through an open
And they got an offer together?
Well, they just sent me their information last night. Yeah, they want us to put together an offer for them as well. Yeah, and then we have another agent that's circling in the background.
That's good.
Yeah, and they're all kind of getting, I won't talk about price, but it's getting closer to where we want to be. I'm not sure if it's
Let me ask you a
completely
question. What did the original agent list that property for? What was it, 2017?
It was last year.
End
yeah.
of 2017.
Yeah.
End of
it was mid, kind of, like after
June, July-ish?
Yes,
Yeah.
It was listed at $2.1 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah, $2.1 million. But guess what? They had an offer for 1.8.
And they refused it.
They refused the offer.
It's a tough area. The clients in that area, because I sold one there in Patterson community too. They're so tough. I sold one for 1,650. At best, the thing was worth maybe 1.5 million, and it was sold last year. Yeah. And literally, it expired. But I was hunting down that agent. I was kept calling. Come on, buddy, get that out extra 50K. My clients would not move, and if they didn't take that offer, their house is probably around that same thing, 1,450ish right now. If you find a buyer for that, those are big deals.
And it's tough. I mean, obviously, I don't know that pocket completely, and I rely on people like you and obviously the MLS system. But when I just look in a very small pocket over there, there's 18 houses that are identical, not identical, but
they're redundant,
detached, double car garage home,
granite countertops,
exactly. They have that look. So 18
the modern
in the small pocket, dude. I'm not even saying going from one major road to the other.
Yeah.
Like a
right
quarter of the way.
Right in a little quadrant.
Yeah, 18. That's a lot, man.
And that's a new areas. Even my area in Nobleton, same idea.
Yeah.
It's people want to list properties in my area. And they say, maybe our house is a little bit different. It's, better than the rest. It's not, because the builder built them all the same. Yeah. Unless you built some custom-made house in the area, which never happens.
Yeah. More or less,
they're all
the same
redundant.
thing. Yeah.
It's the best way to get pricing, because it's so easy to get pricing, because
whatever's listed. Let's call it what it is. They're more or less cookie cutter homes, right?
Homes, yeah. Nicer cookie cutter homes.
Of course. Yeah.
Bedazzled cookie cutter homes.
Yeah. So So in terms of the week, that's going good. We got that going, and everything is cruising along good. There you go. All right, man. How's your week?
It's okay. They're pretty good. So we picked up a few new buyer leads. Listings, we just did a nice price reduction on one property yesterday, which was good, 40K down. Now we didn't have showings in the last literally 2 weeks. Wow. Now we had one showing already as soon as we adjusted the price. Perfect. Adjusting pictures, it's kind of going back to these listings. And again, there's that one property there in the city that I'm so fixated to get this thing sold. I want it out because it's important. And that's it. So a few new buyers came on board. I got a few properties that are now closing, that now that people want to buy, they're more secure. They feel like they were hesitant to buy when they sold their property just in case it didn't close. So now we're about a week away from closing, so now they're starting to amp things up, which is good. That's pretty much it. Holiday spirit, snow's coming down.
Well, we're going to be there in a month or so, right? I mean, we're getting very, very close.
one of those things like you almost want to shut down, but you know if you shut down, it's going to be painful
to get it back going, right?
Yeah. And again, all the planning we're doing now, like even this podcast, this is like the new invention between us, and then there's all the other stuff. Like I've talked to our guys. Let's reinvent everything. I want my brand to look all different. I want the way we run Instagram, Facebook. Everything needs to look different.
Yeah.
Like we got like 45 days.
Oh my gosh, man!
To do it. So I just talked.
These guys are gonna fire you soon.
I think they'll fire you.
I think they're gonna fire you.
But you know what? If you don't push, you're never gonna get any results. Right?
For sure. Like you know what? I think you and I believe in the same thing. Is like being very fixated on your goals and just like going for them no matter what.
Why waste so much time to get to the point, right? Like just if everywhere now, I just on my desk I literally taped like a big note, and it's like things I got to knock off.
Yeah.
Especially for the new invention of next year, right?
Yeah.
Because 2019 will be a different year than this year.
Yeah.
I think 2019 will be okay. Why? Liberals have got to get reelected. I think they're going to amp up the market going into 19 because the election's going to be in June, I would imagine. And is it June or October? October.
I don't remember.
I got to check. I think it might be in October.
Yeah.
Usually it's October. So the new election is going to be in October. So I think they're going to ramp up the market going into 19, hopefully. And then I think 2020 is going to be a tougher year than, let's say, 18.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be a little slower. The new government, they're going to have to look at all the mismanagement of the government in the past. They're going to.
So you're saying the conservatives are going to get elected?
They have to, well, not to be too politically biased, which I'm wearing blue, but I mean, one party screws everything up, the other one has to correct it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen. I think there was so mismanaged, even with the provincial government, with money wise.
Yeah.
And then let's say the conservative government's in, they're cutting costs, they're doing the right thing. Let's say for the population of Canada, and I think that's what's going to happen. Or Ontario now, the Canadian federal election is going to be the same thing, where a lot of look what has Trudeau done? Where basically he released the cannabis law. And I think we touched on this. Just regarding election time, right now everyone's kind of happy he fell through or he came through on one promise that he said.
Yeah,
but all the rest of the stuff, there's nothing else of tangible evidence of his government. Right.
So you're thinking we're gonna have like
a good
good beginning into 19, and then you're gonna think maybe 2020 we're gonna start to see a different type of year.
It's gonna be a different year. I think it's gonna be a correction. Interest rates, they went up 5 times since June of 2017.
That's insane.
It's okay. Like now we're.
It's not okay. I'm renewing my mortgage at the end of the month. It's not okay.
But I mean, ultimately, they always say with low interest rates, it means you're in a recession. So they were trying to ramp up the economy. I think that like 3.5-4% should be good. It's like more of a governed country. But I think ultimately, we'll probably see a few more interest rate hikes next year. Then it'll just kind of tail off. Then we'll have hopefully that nice spike.
Yep.
Make some money.
I think
and be a squirrel, hide all your nuts in the tree, and wait to eat them in 2020.
You think so?
We'll see anyway.
Well, we'll see. But
this is a prediction.
But look, so far, like every year, like starting like 17 has kind of been different too. Like even if we look at 16, right? Like I guess 15 and 16 kind of mirrored each other almost a little bit, right? Because there was a lot of multiple offers and stuff like that. 17, everything was like on a high at the beginning and then just like dropped to the bottom. Yeah, and then so this year was kind of like stability, but still kind of like going through a rough patch to figure out what it is. Next year, I think we're going to see more of the. I told everybody this year we're probably going to see more of a seasonality kind of thing, and I think that's what we have seen so far. But it's just been a little bit. I felt like the spring market came a little bit earlier, and then the fall market happened a little bit later. It's something a little bit weird that happened there. But I think that next year will probably be more on par. I don't know why, but I feel like we're going to be a little bit more on par with the seasonality time frame.
Sure.
And then I feel like the same way as you do in 2020. I think that people out there have committed to things in the future that maybe is not going to pan out the way that they were expecting it to. Just like what we were going to go to.
Third topic in what we're going to talk about regarding new construction. I think that's a huge. That's a biggie, as they would say. So.
There was also an article I saw. I think I saw like come up on Facebook. Someone reposted and basically saying about bankruptcy rates. Like they're expecting decline in 19 and 2020.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I think we're going to put lipstick on the market next year.
This is what it's going to. So knowing this, we should all be very careful about the market next year. I think we got to be very careful about how we're going to make our decisions moving forward about it.
And again, for clients moving, buying and selling, as long as you're buying and selling in the new market, you're fine. This is where we're going to touch base with new construction because you don't want to lock into in 2019 into a property that's closed in 2021.
Yeah, right now it's not a great idea.
If you're trading apples with apples at the same period, the 3 to 5 months, you're fine. Yeah.
The only thing I'm kind of thinking maybe okay still is certain properties that are going to be for a long-term investment.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that as much as I didn't like condo projects before, I'm starting to like them because I can kind of understand why they work and how it's going to mix into the future.
Sure.
With the way city planners are going and things like that. So I think that there are key condo projects that might be still a good idea to invest in that might close 2021, 22, 23, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like I think, and as long as you have an idea that you're going to hold them for at least 5 years, I still think you can't go wrong on those projects.
Location, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on location, I think
based
you're
on
right.
location, yeah, exactly. But I don't want to take too much of topic 3 here right now because we're gonna go on to this. And
we're still topic 1. So we'll switch gears. So topic 2, you were talking the misconception.
Yeah,
a lot of misconceptions.
A little,
in
yeah.
these
Well, you know what? Because we start talking about it, and then it's like you go to a car dealership and you look at a car, and you're just like, oh, it's such a nice car, and then you start seeing them everywhere. You know,
yeah.
Color,
What is it?
everything.
Reticular
activator.
Activator. Yeah.
So you start seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
So the same thing, right? We started talking about misconceptions, and it's ironic enough that it happened to me. So I was at what I think is what I'm looking at being a misconception kind of thing, or something like that. But it happened to me when we were when I was at this real estate conference. It was from Sunday to yesterday, basically. And what happened was I got a call from an area that I work in. There was somebody that wanted to sell their property. I just sold one on that street, and they called me and they're like, "Hey, listen, we got a job relocation and we're gonna move and all of this stuff." And I was like, "Listen, I'm away right now, but I'll be there first thing on Wednesday morning or something like that." And then so we booked an appointment for 11 o'clock. And last night, which was Tuesday night, the night before, I basically get a text message around 9 o'clock, maybe even a little bit earlier than that, basically saying, "Hey, I'm going out of town for a few days. I got an overnight shift or something like that, and I won't be available for a few days. Thanks a lot." To me, like I've been in those situations before. I'm not saying this is going to roll out the way that it is, but whenever that's kind of happened, it's been that person's listed with somebody else after that point.
Sure.
So for me, it would have been better for that person to just say, "Hey, listen, like I know you weren't available, but I wanted to get this thing going, and I listed with somebody else."
Yeah.
I would have.
But there's no proof yet.
There is no proof or anything else like that. I'm just going on based on previous experiences I've had.
Sure. It's that feeling, the sixth sense.
Yeah. So it's happened before. I don't want to say often, but like maybe 2 or 3 times. Like you get that message. Maybe it was a different situation, but you get that message. Oh, I'll rebook or something else like that, and you're just like, something doesn't feel right about that. And like 3 days later, you see a sign on their lawn, or you see it pop up on MLS, and it's just like, she just told me. Like, it's all good. I'm just trying to help you.
But you think it's going to go that way, though?
What do you mean?
You think it's already
I have a feeling like that.
They had a few agents
I've had feelings like that, and I've been wrong.
Yeah.
And I've had feelings like that, and I've been right about it. But I feel like it may go down this way. I don't know this person that called me, so like there was no real strong relationship or anything built in it, right?
You should show up there tonight. Just knock on the door.
Just show up there.
Hey, just in the area, and just on another appointment, just drop off my card. Let me know. Let's get together.
Yeah.
Why not? What's it going to? It's your farm.
Yeah.
Because I think even I read that book there, the 4 agreements, I think it's called, and one of them was making assumptions.
Yeah, that's true.
And I get what you're saying. Like you have that sixth sense.
Yeah.
That time those buyers took me for a road. I'm like, I saw the outcome.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, in that area, you're too powerful. I'd see it for them. Not being financially good decision on their.
It's not a good decision for them,
because you know the area. So.
But you know what? It's like, are you kidding me? Moments. I could predict this. Are you kidding me? Moment coming on, and it's okay. Look, we touched, but we touched on this subject before too.
Did you see I was trying to fluff you up there?
I know, but it's I don't want to take your bait here.
Okay, but honestly, from an agent to agent.
But we're not dying. Remember, we had the conversation.
No, I get it.
We're not dying.
But I'm just saying, like that.
I think I could do a better job.
That's what I'm saying. That's
100%.
Seller not at least giving you an opportunity to get in the door. Yeah. Ultimately, that's a failure.
Yeah. See, the thing is, they told me their timeline, and I'm like, oh, that's your timeline. Oh, that's what you're kind of expecting. Well, don't worry about it. Like that's fine. Like, I could take care of that. So like, I mean, I've already said that we could do. Anyways, like, I guess what I was trying to get at overall is that I feel like sometimes the public feels like a salesperson or a realtor maybe be coming off in a different way, like maybe aggressive or tricking or something else like that.
Sure.
Like we've heard of this misconception. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes even maybe labeled as like a used car sales person or something.
In our industry, there's a lot of people like that.
There is a lot of people like that.
And a lot of people that I, talking with lawyers and what their clients' experience are. Not with us, not with some people we know, but a lot of people go down that road, man.
Yeah, like so I guess it is the public trying to protect themselves. But for me, like I'd rather have just someone been upfront.
Tell you that straight up.
Just tell me straight up, this is what it is or whatever else. But
if you can't make it from this day, we got to go with somebody else. I think,
But I feel sometimes the public tells somebody something different, like a salesperson or a realtor, and then that, like it didn't happen to me that I would be trying to trick them into a different way or this or that. But like I feel like they try to say it in a different way, so they try to protect themselves when they would just be better off just saying it the way it is, because then that industry or whatever will behave in a different way to them. Right now they got a false indication. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like they have a false indication of how they should believe. Think about big companies. Big companies basically go on consumer research. Do you know what I mean? So
you're more concerned of the way they responded to you. Like they're kind of
they say they don't want to be treated in a certain way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be treated in this kind of a way.
They're just trying to let you down.
And I think this industry is bad because it's a high pressure industry. I don't want to walk into a car dealership because I think they're going to force me to buy something. But if the public, to a certain degree, behaved in an honest and ethical way, that's the consumer research that would go back to the big companies that tell these corporations how to behave with these people. So I think that there may be a
But what's your concern? Is it more because the way they didn't give you the straight up information? They said, okay, listen, if you can't make it here by Tuesday, then we have to go with somebody else.
My concern is that I think I don't care about the appointment, right? But my concern is that overall, I feel like the industry feels like maybe realtors, they have to protect themselves against it, or even used car salespeople or something else like that. It's these kind of like sales service industries. I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like the public feels like they have to have a guard up when they deal with this industry. What I'm saying is that if the public starts to behave more honestly with the person and just be upfront with them, I think the way that process takes place would end up changing.
I tell you one thing, I get what you're saying. The good thing is you can pick your clients.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is for you and me is different.
No, I get it. But at the end, it's all about. Everyone has a story. Maybe that guy did get screwed in his last realtor or whatever it is, and it's just like I don't tolerate them. They're just basically a lesser of the other evil, or lesser of two evils. I need an agent. This is the guy who's going to do it, right? So they have no commitment. They don't give a shit. It's just like, list the house, get it sold. I don't want to be your friend. And that you're just a tool for what I need to do. Yeah. And sometimes maybe that's not the right client you want, because ultimately it's going to be stress the whole time. Yeah. They got like a short timeline and an unrealistic price, and they're going to put all this pressure on your back, and they're going to be not upfront with you the whole time. I think that's going to deteriorate. I think going back to mindset, I think in podcast too, right? Yeah. So...
Yeah, like see, the thing is that I don't I'm just trying to say from like an overall perspective of the market, overall in the market, like I just feel like there's so many things that are like, look at this, you browse online, right? You're browsing online, you go to Home Depot, you're looking at, I don't know, snowblower that you want to buy or whatever else. Now it's going to be all over your feeds, because that information that you were browsing went to somewhere else, went to a marketing agency, sold your information to Home Depot, and now Home Depot is like advertising stuff to you, so they geared it to you. But now what I'm trying to say is, if the public is out there dealing with the sales service industry and they're behaving in a certain way, that information is getting carried to a corporation, which in turn is telling that corporation how to behave with the people. Now if they're going to say, oh, this and this, I give them all these fake obstacles or whatever, then they get analyzed over here, and then the salesperson comes back in a different way. Do you know what I mean? And in the way that the public doesn't want to be dealt with. So I'm saying is that interaction may not get corrected until we're like all upfront with each other. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
It's just like basically telling somebody something that's not true. It's going to kind of come back to you anyways. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, I'd rather just be, I think it would change the perception of the public, and the industry would be a cleaner industry at that point.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, even with us being salespeople professionals, you have that sixth sense. You can kind of feel where this is going. If that's, you're more than 80% probably right, or 90% right, or what you say. 100% right. but that's that feeling, right?
Yeah.
So you can cut through the bullshit.
Yeah.
So the good thing is you didn't waste any time.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I don't know. Like I think you're gonna have to spin a positive on that too, because I think
it's great.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't have seen the market perception, in my opinion, so, like how it differs from like how I'm thinking about it if this experience didn't happen.
If it does get listed,
Yeah.
I'm curious. Bring it up to me because I'm gonna forget what if the agent did take it, if it did get listed, if it goes down that way. I want to know.
I might pick up the listing next week. I don't know.
You might get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying because assumptions are deadly.
Yeah,
We got to
sure.
watch with assumptions. But I mean, ultimately, if it does go up, I want to see the price it goes up at.
Yeah.
And you tell me if that's realistic for the market.
Yeah.
Just curious, right? And you kind of
If it goes up,
back,
I'll tell you right now. My prediction is if it goes up right now, it'll be marked. It'll be priced right based on the conversation I had. Yeah.
What do you think price wise?
$750.
$750.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your price.
That's my price.
If it goes up at $825.
Yeah, then that's I think it's steep.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's keep a check mark. Keep a bookmark on it. I'm curious to come back.
I watch
yeah, but
it.
remind me
I'll
because I'm
remind you
just
for
for
especially now that we've recorded.
Yeah,
it.
I bookmarked you. I'm just curious because ultimately maybe it's not the client you want. Circle back. Maybe if he got in there and he says, you know what, Hussein, the 750 is not going to work. We want 820.
Yeah.
But we need this thing sold in like 13 days. So can you perform?
Hey, we'll see. We'll see how it. We'll see what.
Doesn't matter how many open houses there. It's like it's gonna be a ghost town.
All right.
I guess that was your topic. I think I weighed in on it too. I think it's good. Yeah, like where you're coming from too.
Yeah.
But it's good. Your mindset's protected too at the same time.
Yeah, man.
New construction.
I like it and I don't like it.
Two things. If you're for new construction condos. It's going to be area. I got to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about location. Now I'm not buying in some crappy area that, like, if they start building condos in Bowmanville, I'm not buying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there are projects in Toronto I would buy, and in my hood here in Pickering, like, because I know what it is and I believe in it. I'm not saying it would be the right product for you, but for me, where my belief is, I believe is the right product.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm going to buy condo and any advice, it's going to be right in the core of Toronto.
And long-term hold.
In Bloor.
Yeah.
2,000 a foot. Like, that's where you need to be. Like, that's for me anyway. But that's my mindset. I'm a little bit old school. New construction residential, I wouldn't touch right now. I think it was great from, let's say, 1997 until 2015 purchasing.
I'll inject one thing in there. So because we're working on a new construction deal right now, actually with one of our buyers, we have an offer in on it. On the high market, this house would have sold for like $1.8 million. Eyes closed. It was listed right now at like 145.
Yeah.
So there are new construction where there were smaller builders that they might be stuck with inventory that they really can't be stuck with, or they have it at a cost where they can kind of let it go. There will be some good deals, but what you're talking about, buying now with a piece of land that nothing's been happened, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, it's these are basically a subdivision.
It's already done. Well, it's like, you know, in that craze where the market was going nuts, everyone thought, like, from being a realtor they became a builder, like overnight. Yeah. So it's like something like that. Like they had like a couple of pieces of land and they started building, and now they kind of got stuck in the market situation.
This house is up already?
It's up. Yeah, it's been up.
Oh, it's up.
It's been on the market since April.
The house is up.
Yeah,
built.
It's been.
That's different.
Yeah.
I'm talking like off a plan. Going into
seeing
like,
a piece
and
of
it's
dirt.
going to close into 1 or 2 years.
Yeah,
that I wouldn't touch.
No,
and I think 2015 was the last year for that, to be honest.
Yes, I bought in November 15, and it was great.
People like that subdivision in Major Mac and Weston Road, that those 3-story towns. People bought in 2015 for $550 to $600K.
Perfect.
17, they went up to almost $1 million.
Get out of here.
Now they're at $750, $775.
Still really good.
But the guys that bought in 15, they're up $250,000. The guys that bought in 16 and the 16 are down.
They're down. $250,000. Wow, that's amazing.
So it's just one of those things. But again, even now, like I have clients, should we buy new construction? Should we sit? No, absolutely not. It's not. It's unpredictable what's going to happen. Like I said, 1997, the market started with this rise. It started from 97, from 90, 88, 89, the busts, and then 92 still very slow, 94, 95, 96, 97 it started to pick up, like real estate sales, everything was going well, right? So imagine, look at the span. That's what, 20 years?
Yep.
What does that work out to? 20 years? More.
Yeah.
97
to
07,
17.
2017?
Yeah.
20 years, right?
20 years.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So 20 years straight. Yeah. Imagine, even if you buy new constructions, then people were buying, a year later flip, buying, flip, buying.
Yeah.
they made a killing.
Sure they did.
Just there's an end to that process too, right? And 17 was the kicker.
Yeah, well, even me doing it as not knowing what I was actually doing, and it turned out to being good just because you're analyzing market conditions at that time.
Sure.
Like I'm saying, made good money just moving personal residence.
100 grand a pop, right? Easy.
100, 300.
Yeah.
It's you made good amount of money just doing
Absolutely.
that. But right now, you're right. Yeah, like buying off of a plan, even like what you were saying is you have clients calling you and asking you, hey, is it a good idea for me to buy this new residential? It's going to be ready in 18 months or 2 years or something like that. I get the same kind of call. And for somebody looking in Whitby, for example.
Sure.
And what happens is that there is like there's a builder building on, say, like the northeast corner. And if you look at the southeast corner, there's homes there that are about 5 years old that are selling for $100,000 less than what they're building new for.
Sure.
And I wouldn't advise anybody to do that. I'm okay with a 5-year-old home and 100 grand less than what they're asking over here. I just don't feel like it's worth it.
It's not even the builder's fault because when he bought the land, he had to tag that price to make everything kind of work with the build and financially for the business.
For sure.
So they're stuck, and that's why you're seeing builders just literally shutting down sites.
Yeah.
I hear now, like I have friends that work for builders, friends like contractors, multi-million-dollar companies. They work directly with them, and they're hearing that people are folding. Yeah. People are leaving $300,000, $350,000 deposits on properties.
Wow.
Like in Vaughan, right? So, like, well, 3 a week they're saying.
3 a week.
Yeah. So the media hasn't got wind of this. Again, I always say we're the canaries in the mine shaft, right? We're the first one to get the information. So it's all basically tic tac toe kind of thing. We talk to these guys, they kind of give us the information. So about 3 a week, and that's just a few builders that we know, right? Big builders. That's why they stopped building. Like there's a few, like Great Golf stopped one project. They said screw it. They're gonna. It's literally all ready to go. Streets are in, but it's gonna sit for a couple more years so it picks up.
So there are big builders like you mentioned, Great Golf, Mattamy, whatever.
Yeah.
There are big builders that are going to be in that position where they can hold. Now we got mid-sized builders.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe they didn't buy their land 10 or 20 years ago. They bought it 7 years ago.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with these guys?
I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen with these guys. The big, powerful guys will just eat up these little guys. Yeah. And there won't even be no news about it. This mid-size, I'm happy and I'm proud of the builders because they've made so much money in the last, let's say, 20 years, let's say from 97 to now, that they have a lot of cash at hand. Yeah. They're very cash rich right now. And these mid-sized guys are just like, we can't afford this, and that. They're not going to, we're seeing MLS, we're not going to hear on the news. Just the big guys that say, okay, you paid $10 million, we'll give you $6 million for it. Are you okay with that?
What I see right now happening a little bit with smaller guys, there is a townhouse project right now in Ajax. Project in Ajax. They are trying to push this thing so hard.
Commission, co-op, and a commission.
Now co-op. But then they're also sending, because I've signed up in 2 ways with a lot of these builders, okay, man? I've signed up one way as being a consumer, and one way as being a realtor. Sure. So I'm getting this company's, both of their messages. Yeah. How the message comes across to the consumer and how it comes across to the agent. Sure. To the agent, bring your buyers. We'll pay you. We'll pay you.
Points.
4 points. Just bring your people. We're going to pay you. The other side of it is basically saying, hey, we're making it easy because house prices, affordability factors. So what we're going to do for you is this. You pay us $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month as a deposit. And by this time, you'll have this much deposit. And then you can close on this house for this stupid amount of money. So that's one of the gimmicks that I've seen them pull. Before I seen them do that, I saw them do one other thing. And I think that there's going to be one thing that's going to happen after this, before they fold to other builders. So I think what's going to end up happening is that they already started to give away incentives. They didn't drop their price, but they basically said, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you everything that you ever possibly wanted. Yeah. So at this point when it doesn't work, I think there's going to be price drop. They're going to actually, so I seen them do the upgrades first, like basically give you free almost everything in the house, because they had a huge margin on it to begin with, okay? Yeah. So we'll give you everything. Now there's like these easy financing plans.
And finished basements.
Finished basements, everything. Like whatever they can possibly do for you in order for you to be able to buy this property, they're going to do it. But the thing is that the last piece of it is going to be is that they're going to have the price drops. They're going to have to end up doing price drops. So when they do the price drops, if that doesn't work for them or completely, and I think that your next step is going to end up happening.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to so Look at my project. Very simple. My idea was that even when the market was great, I was buying in 2014, 2015 to assemble this little project. My always intention was make sure everything carries.
Yeah.
Get enough rent out of every property that I don't have to look at it.
Yeah.
It'll cover itself. And that's what we did. But when you're buying vacant land for $20 million and it's got no income based, and you got maybe a high ratio mortgage probably from the guy that sold it to you.
Yeah.
Shit's going to hit the fan, buddy.
But that's all speculation, right?
Speculation,
so,
yeah. And they did well for 20 years.
And that's why there's like normal banks like TD and whatever else like that would never finance you on these type of things, right? So that's why they had to go to these private lenders, pay this bigger money, or they had to buy in cash.
Yes.
But otherwise there was
or
no
joint
way.
ventures, companies join together. Like a lot of these projects, especially in my neck of the woods, you see 3 or 4 builders that come together and they take portions of the lots.
You mentioning that, actually, that's true, So we've seen more sales centers that are doing more like a joint venture. I mean, they're selling their own style and they have their own marketing and whatever going on, but they're sharing almost that sales center build out.
Which is smart. Right? If there's 400 lots and there's 4 builders, everyone takes 100.
But see, that's a good indication. So some people have asked, and I never actually connected the dots until right now. Some people have asked, why do they have their sales centers together? Well, you're absolutely
joint
right.
Ventures.
Yeah.
Land's too expensive for one builder,
but
and they split
when the market was great and these guys were selling them nonstop, everybody wanted to be independent and on their own. But they're already trying to form an alliance on their own just to be financially better off.
100%. Yeah. So imagine so our big land developer in Ontario, Condrain, right? Naturally, big the Gaspers family. So what they own a lot of this land already, in a sense. So they'll basically get it to subdivision phase, and then they'll sell it to like 4 builders.
Okay.
So let's just say I hate to say names, but let's say Rosehaven, Countrywide, which they're all. Some of them are related to the actual, like the mother company, but some are just like really good friends and they do joint venture a lot. So they'll split up these. That's why you see a lot of these subdivisions with the same builders. Because they joint venture together, but the big guys already bought that land 20 years ago, cut it up into subdivision form,
sold the
lots off to them. And again, it's going back to their sister companies which will build them in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Quite brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah. But even though what we're talking about here right now with the builder market and everything else like that, we're talking, in my opinion, still short term. And when I say like short term in the real estate game, we're probably talking about this stuff unfolding in the next 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It is a long term, but it's not. Like, I mean, a lot of this stuff can transpire in the next 2 to 3 years. It will kind of level itself off. Yeah. And then maybe in 7 or 8 years, it's going to start to become more lucrative for these guys to start doing a certain thing. So that's why holding on to it is going to be the key for these bigger companies that can actually do it.
Reality is, and going back to talking about the construction companies that are relocating to Canada or Ontario itself from Europe. Why? There's no more growth there. They see the potential here, so they're relocating, buying $2 billion companies. The builders, us small investors, were, like me, my capital's out. I got to keep a nest egg to make sure everything runs. So I can't do any more investing. But the guys that are cash rich right now, that are in the business of developing land, they're buying. Like our office sold one parcel, like I think I mentioned a few times, $19 million or something of that nature.
Wow.
I got insight of one property sold for $60 million. Now I think another one just sold for $9 or $10 million. So they're starting to, like, the big parcels are getting eaten up by big builders with cash, right? Because again, they gotta put this money somewhere for tax reasons in a sense too, right? So and they're looking like these are the wolves, right? And it's always these guys are going to eat first, and they're going to see these guys, the new money, let's call it, in the development phases where you see those new Ferraris and Lamborghinis where they made a quick, like amazing amount of money right now, became rich in the last 5 to 10 years, that over leveraged themselves because they felt invincible because the market was on their side, not because they were doing things right. These guys have been in the business 20, 30 years, 40 years.
They've seen this happen.
They're looking at these guys saying, keep it going, because they're going to just
eat them.
Everything.
Yeah.
You pay 10, I'm giving you 6.
Yeah.
You like it? You don't. If they give you 6, you're on the hook for only 4 now to the banks or whatever,
You can tell when you talk to people that have been in the business for 25, 30 years or anything else like that, they knew when to back off. Like I've used this example before in our podcast, but that one builder that's a smaller builder or whatever else, I would say small builder, and they probably do like nice homes, 20 to 30 a year, but really nice
Those
homes.
Greek builders?
Yeah. So they do a really good job. But the thing is that like when things started to kind of start to shift a little bit, there was a little bit of a rumble in the market that, hey, maybe things are not going to go so well at the end of 16 or mid to end of 16. They laid off. They said, we don't care. Like we'll wait. We'll see how it goes and let it ride out. We're okay. But they've been in the business
Sorry,
for
so
like
2016 they started
30
laying off?
years. Yeah, man. Mid 2016 towards the end of 16, they started laying off, and they said they started really questioning where it was going. So they looked at the growth. They looked at the growth and said the growth is out of whack. There's no way that this is sustainable growth. Like we saw it happen too, right? Like all of a sudden you go from 5%, 9%, 12% to 17% to 21%. Like, come on, man. Where is it going to go from here? Do you think it's going to go to 23 the next year? Like, it doesn't even make sense when your average income basically stayed more or less the same.
So let me ask you, go back to the builders there, the Greek builders. So at mid 16, they stopped selling.
No, they stopped actually trying to buy properties that were like they were still selling, and it was a good time to sell. So they were,
but they weren't buying.
No, they were being very critical. So they did, but they were being extremely critical with what they bought. Whereas they would have probably in the previous market said, "Oh, okay, it's a good one lot. We can knock this house down. We're already kind of in the area. Let's just get this one done and put it on the market, and it just folds together with our rest of our marketing plan in order to sell this." They really had to evaluate it and say, "Hey, with this lot, can I make 4, 5, 6? Can I make a small subdivision? I'm going to hold this. I got to think that I'm going to hold this for 10 or 15 years before I could do something with it. Am I cool with it?" So the way that they've started to evaluate the opportunities that they got, they really, were very careful about what they actually got themselves involved with.
So what are they doing now? Like, what does a builder do now when he's not building?
So because the thing is that they're not a big builder, but they're very smart. So the thing is that since they predicted this, they did really well in the market, just like any other builder did. Yeah. So, but they had that nest egg that you talk about, you know what I mean? So they have enough leverage to hold off and just continue to see how this market plays off. You and I both know that there is going to be room for these guys to play again and again and again, but there becomes this period of time where you got to kind of be, let's back off. Let's see how this goes and go. Like these guys are the same people that told me, "Hey, listen, we don't want to be the first one to experiment on that street." Like there was a nice street, nice lots, affordable, whatever else. You can see that this is going to change at some point. They had the belief, but they said, "We're not going to be first on scene. Let someone else do it. We're okay with that."
Smart.
Yeah.
That's how I want to run my business. Small, 30 houses a year, 30, 40 houses a year, small business, and again, family oriented. And again, like assessing risk like this. I love it. Yeah. So right now they've collected all their money. They made a lot of money. Let's say. So now, what do they do now? They go to the office every day and do what? I don't think that they're structured like that. Do you know what I mean? Like the guy sits in his pickup truck in front of the site. So maybe he's just going to a coffee shop now and having coffee. But things are still getting built right now, or just finishing off from the tail end?
Personally, I don't think I don't have like a very close relationship with them, but like I have an idea of what they're doing, and I don't think that they're building anything anymore. Especially like say in my area of Pickering, like they're definitely not building anything anymore right now. Like,
I'm curious. Follow that. I love people veteran. Businessmen like this. Just follow just the way they migrate. It's almost like birds. Why do they fly in the south in the winter? It's just one of those things, right?
And like it's also done with experience. Like I have no doubt that you or I are going to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But it's just
we assess risk.
Yeah, but these guys have seen it. Like they've seen it happen in the marketplace, go up and down, and they get that feeling. Like I have this feeling. You know what I mean? We could be right or wrong, but at that time you're going to be a little bit more like mindful about what's going on around you and make your decisions a little bit differently, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're bang on. I kind of like that. I'd like to follow up with that. Let me know about that.
I got a lot of follow-ups for you.
Yeah, right? I'm tagging you down. I'm going to keep you accountable.
Yeah, man.
That's it, buddy.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I think I'm good. That was a good good topics, buddy.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, actually, we had some questions, but we'll get into them next time.
Yeah.
So if anyone else has any questions for us, just send them out to us. You guys know how to get a hold of us. Yeah. Please subscribe to our channel. I think we're starting to pick up momentum. We had 48 views on our first podcast. Yeah, I think we're up to 50 this morning. Yeah, so this is good. This is all pro bono work, and I'm hoping people are getting great information out of this from the realtors and also the general public on the real deal here. This is real estate, not the Rogers Channel type $1 million listing. Fluffed up. This is not fluffed up for you guys. This is the real deal, right? Awesome. All right, guys. See you guys. See you later. Next time. All right, bro. That's good.